And what's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of that Dynamite review show on the Tricology News Talk. And as always, I am your host with the most, Mr. Tricology himself. And with me, as always, is my partner in crime and my co-host, Mr. Leland Benford. What's up, bro?
What is up, everybody? It's Wednesday. Well, it's Thursday. And you know what that means. It's time for another Dynamite review show. What'd you think about last night's episode before we jump into it?
This one was kind of different, guys.
It was. They tried some new stuff here.
I would say it's kind of a little lackluster because every time you have a go home show or to a pay per view, they always put out a banger. But it felt a little less luster to me. So, but hopefully the whole pay per view itself turned out to be really good. I hope so.
Now, with that being said, I think, again, it was one of those nights where I think we had better promos than necessarily like matches. Even though there was some really good matches last night, but I do feel like the promos really sold this episode, but not the promo you may be thinking about. I think the promo I like the most happened somewhere in the middle of the show. So, but let's get into it. We got the first match starting with Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara versus Claudio and Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, this was this was an action packed opener. This is a kind of little preview of what's it going to be on Saturday in the Fatal 4-Way for the RH World Title, and we did see a little hiccup at the end between Guevara and Jericho, so that could be setting some seeds on if they're going to be on the same page or they're going to be on different sides come Saturday. But we'll see.
Also, to note, something that's really kind of special to AEW is they have those tunnels. And of course, if you come out the right side, you're a baby face. You come out the left side, you're a heel. That's facing us. And with Blackpool Combat Club, you got Bryan Danielson, who came out the left side as a heel, and Claudio, who came out the right side as a babyface. So it's very unique in AEW that you can have a group that consists of babyface and heels. So that's unique, I think, to this brand. But it's something that I noted to myself last night when I was watching them come out.
Yeah, that was very interesting how they came out the tunnel. But like I said, it was a pretty good opener to start off the Dynamite last night. So but in the final moments, Guevara and Danielson both made the hot tag and had a stare down from their last week encounter in the 2 out of 3 fall match as Danielson lead into forearms, scratching Guevara with strikes and kicks. And again, Guevara went for the eyes like he did last time and tried to lock in the GTH, but Danielson rolled through and tried to put in the bell lock. Guevara got a rope break, but then went up to the ropes. Guevara got a bit away from Danielson's grasp and hit a super cutter. Jericho hit the lion saw as Casanova break things up. Danielson and Jericho both tried to charge it in attacks and collide for a double down, and Danielson made the tag. But Jericho was more worried about reaching for Floyd the Bat than tagging in Guevara. As Danielson took out Guevara with a dive, Casanova hit a long, giant swing, and afterwards he disarmed Jericho with the bat. He even did a show off like they do in baseball and locked in the sharpshooter, and they got the submission victory win. So there you have it, a good, clean win for Claudio over Jericho, and so Claudio got Jericho's number here, but we'll see how it's going to play out in the Fatal 4-Way. And
second time Claudio has beaten Jericho in a tag team so clean.
Yep, and later on afterwards, we will be doing a predictions on the whole match card. So if you got your predictions, save it on for later because we will be going over the card after we go over the last night's Dynamite shows. Have your predictions ready. Have your predictions ready.
So in this match, again, Claudio comes out as a star, man. He was very impressive during this match. It's good to see his personality come out more. in his new role in AEW. But yeah, and another example of a really good match.
Absolutely. And we got a video package showing highlights for the main event of Full Gear, which is John Moxley versus MJF. And we will hear from them both for both men later on in the night. But then we go to a black and white video shown of Darby Allin in a body bag being picked up by Sting and placed in the backseat of a car. Allin gets free and sits up while Sting says, "At Full Gear, it will be showtime." And then afterwards, we cut back with Sanjay Dunn, Jay Lethal, and Satnam Singh, and Jeff Jarrett backstage, as Jarrett said he and Sting have wrestled for 24 years, and Full Gear will be the last.
That short film was dope. I love Darby Allin's creativity when it comes to his short films. I think it was really a really good way to set it up. Again, the only way I want to enjoy Jeff Jarrett is if he is in a campaign with Sting. I don't want to see him wrestle anyone else outside of the AEW roster. Sting and Darby Allin. That's where you sit. That's where you be. I think him and Sting in the ring is going to bring some 50 over 50 viewers to that. And I mean, we all grew up watching these guys, so it'll still be a good match. They're professionals, they're veterans, so I know they'll put on a good match for sure. But yeah, I really want to talk about what happened next when the Acclaim came out.
Yep, and we before the next match had it, we had a new premiere music video, the Marquis Swerver Our Glory. We even had Paul White bring back his Captain Insano character from the Water Boy while he was being interviewed by the Acclaim, as they made fun of the guys who dressed like Keith Lee and Sir Strickland, as they try to play the role of from Adam Sandler's character in the Water Boy. That was a little if you guys catch that, we watched the video package there, and it ended with the Acclaim and Daddy Ass walking on the beach, rapping to the music video, and then holding hands while to the sunset.
First off, how hilarious was this music video, dude? And first off, Caster lyrics, I feel like he was kind of cutting deep. I feel like he was saying some real personal, taking some personal jabs. And I wonder if it's frustrating for Swerve, since he is an artist and he does music as well. I wonder if it's frustrating for Swerve not to be able to kind of rap and come back. I wonder if they're going to include some of that in it. But I think, honestly, this kind of made Swerve look a little bad. The crowd didn't know how to feel for him afterwards. Also, I do want to say this Connecticut crowd was pretty dry as last night. They just took a while to get started, but they were pretty dry as last night. But that being aside, I feel like this is kind of a bad look for Swerve. I hope they do more to kind of protect him going forward. I know the results of the match, but I hope they do more to kind of protect him and let him get some of his, Sting, something back, because that rap was pretty embarrassing on him.
Oh yeah, but that ain't the first time we'll be hearing from Matt Caster tonight. So he also did a pre-match rap that included the line from Jay Leno burning himself this past week, and Tony Schiavone wished Leo well, referencing when working with Leo in 1998 in WCW.
Yeah, it looked like Shivani made sure to go in and cover their butt and say, "Hey, but Tony Khan clears those raps." So apparently, since the last time, Caster kind of got into some real heat. So I guess he thought it was a funny one.
Yeah, and so we got a preview of that tag team match with Swerve Strickland go 1-on-1 with Anthony Bowens. So this ended with Bowens with his mouth busted open, tried to trip up Strickland in the corner, and mounted with a comeback that included a charging back elbow, despite being slow to put on the offense together due to the early attack by Strickland. Bowens hit an angle slam for 2, tried a spinning slam, but Strickland answered with a brain buster and kill shot kick for the near fall. Strictly violated, snapped the arm of Bowens and hit a top rope swerve stomp, but again for got a 2. Bowens tried the schoolboy, but Strictly again ratchet at the arm and hit the JML driver for the clean win. So while most of this was shown like during the commercial break, it definitely got a message across that Strickland really did a number on Bowens' arm, which could be a disadvantage for the Acclaim of their chances of defending their title in their final trilogy of matches this Saturday. And there was no Keith Lee tonight with Strickland as well. So that could be in the question of how they're going to work together on Saturday as well. So a lot of questions there going into their final match of their trilogy.
Yeah, they did a really good job telling the story of Strickland going for the arm. He threw his finishers at him, both the top rope stump, his side kick he do, and Bowens kicked out of both, which got a big pop from the crowd. And of course, Swerve giving that look like, how is he still kicking out? I'm throwing on my best stuff. I thought Bowens was going to come in. I'm glad they gave Swerve the win here and made him look aggressive after they just embarrassed him on the thing. Great moment happened when Swerve had went for his sidekick the second time. Bowens went for a roll up and Swerve stopped it and then spent his thighs, which put more damage on the arm. That is the kind of innovative offense and defense that I think only Swerve Strickland brings to the table. So I think they're doing a good job of protecting Swerve, but this is a guy who can really put this company on his back and take AEW to that level. And I love to see how engaged he is with this character and well, with this promotion, I should say. But I hope they do more to protect him. Him coming out with Rick Ross and stuff, all that looks good. Hopefully that type of star power keeps going, and Full Gear, maybe there's some star power there as well.
Yeah, we'll see what happens on Saturday between the two teams. And speaking of Saturday, we got a video package showing the rivalry between Jade Cargill and Nyla Rose for the TBS title. So will Jade retain her title and go undefeated, or will Nyla Rose will finally be crowned the official TBS champion? But we'll see what happens on Saturday. And Samoa Joe got interviewed with Tony Schiavone, and despite turning on Wardlow last week, Joe entered through the babyface tunnel because, like I said before, ain't nobody gonna boo Joe. Come on now. So Joe was asked about his shocking actions, and he said his actions wasn't shocking, as Wardlow's actions resulted in him paying the price. Joe refused to be the victim like most of the fans here tonight. Joe didn't wait around to be saved. He saved himself. And anyone has a problem, they can take it up with him. Powerhouse Hobbs interrupted, says he's been the one kicking Wardlow's ass for several weeks and hits the ring to do the same to Joe. But Wardlow interrupted and hit the ring from the crowd and attacked Joe. All three men had to be pulled away by the locker room as Joe and Hobbs was taken out of the ring. The Dark Order tried to just let Wardlow go as he wiped out everyone with a dive over the top to stand tall.
That was a heck of a dive from the big man. A little random how the whole locker room came out, but it made for great TV. And then also the little bit with Dark Order, like, hey, I'm good. That got a chuckle out of me. Yeah, it was interesting how Joe came out of the babyface tunnel. You're completely right. I wonder if that was him not following the rules on purpose to be more of a heel, or is he they just trying to mess up? Or like you said, they know people are not going to boo him. They're going to do the whole Joe chant. So why even make him a full heel? Interesting matchup. We got three big dudes that's about to beat the crap out of each other on Saturday. So that is going to be interesting triple threat match. Now, this next segment that's coming up is the segment that I think was the best promo of the night. This next segment coming up with Britt Baker killed it. I think she did a hell of a job at the promo, and I'll let you break it down, Trico.
Now, despite Britt Baker being a heel, but this promo here felt like a babyface promo. Let me explain what he said. So she was supposed to be with Tony Schiavone backstage, but like Britt Baker said, no, I need some time by myself on this one. So recapping what Saraya said about her last week, in the 3 years, she became the leader in the AEW locker room and became her own role model. She earned opportunities instead of being handed to them. Really? But that's another story. But Baker said she might have not wrestled at the at Madison Square Garden, but she wrestled at Daily's Place during the pandemic. Something Saraya would never know about. Baker respects Saraya, but this business owes Saraya nothing, as Baker is the heart and soul and pulse of AEW. And if Saraya can't respect that, Saraya needs to get the hell out of our house. So, some of the things I do agree with, and some of it I don't agree with. First of all, what she said about wrestling a database during the pandemic, that's how she got her star power. Like actually it started out with Hikaru
Thunder
Shida.
Rosa.
But yeah, Hikaru
Oh yeah,
Shida.
with Garshida. The Thunder Rosa rival with Garshida when she had a rivalry with Big Swole for a moment when she was still there. Those are some of the rivalries that really stand out for the pandemic.
Yeah, Hikaru Shida held it down first in the first year, and then after that, it was turned over to Britt Baker because she was becoming the star that we all
of the division
love to be, whether you love her or you hate her. And but with Saraya back, like I said before, some of y'all may know Saraya back in WWE as Paige. Some of y'all might be just knowing her like for the first time. For those who are just AEW fans that probably had never watched WWE the programming. So this, like I said before, this is the absolute star attraction match this Saturday, and this is gonna be something to watch. So there's a lot of questions coming into the Saturday, especially for Saraya, like how she's gonna perform after being away for 5 years, and can Saraya and Britt Baker put out a well, maybe close to a 5-star match. Can that happen on Saturday?
Ooh, I wouldn't put that much pressure on her, but I think it will be a good match. I do want to point out a couple of things that Britt said. She said you went out there and reminded people that I've only been doing this for 3 years, and I feel like in that line, Britt Baker was kind of taking Paige back to promo 101, and let's not try to demean our partner experience in a way where it makes it seem like this match is not worth watching. You know what I mean? So I feel like Britt Baker kind of took Paige to promo school like 101 there and was like, yo, like, that's not the way you want to sell this match. But Britt Baker did a hell of a promo that I felt that was very personal. I think it was 60% Britt Baker, the person, and 40% Britt Baker, the professional wrestler, because I feel like they just came from a very personal place, and how she put Conor Saraya in her place on a couple of things. But I think she's right. During the pandemic, she went out there and she busted her butt. I think for a lot of wrestlers who were new to AEW or new to professional wrestling, the pandemic year actually gave them a chance to kind of master their craft a little bit, because those guys was working so much out of Daly's place. No one had to really travel like that. It was a constant work, and she was on Dark a lot, putting in a lot of work and putting in a lot of matches. I remember her promo saying she's going to Dark to go get some wins so she can advance on the power ranking. So that pandemic period did allow a lot of these wrestlers to put in a lot of work. And Britt Baker, I think, is one of the wrestlers who came out of that pandemic era way better than she went in. That's in ring, out of ring, on the mic. But say what you want to say about Britt Baker, she know how to connect with an audience. She really knows how to use that camera to her advantage. Her in ring, I think, definitely can still use more. Like they said, she's been wrestling for 3 years. But the thing that she does that you can't teach, as Enzo would say, you can't teach that. You can't teach that personality of how to connect with an audience through that TV screen. You can't teach it the way she has it. She just has it. you know? So that is what I think Britt Baker really shines. And she's right. She is the face of that women's division, whether you like it or not. When she had the belt, there was more, excitement around it. So, but not being said, she can't do that without great people on the other side of that ring. So her rivalries with those people did help her elevate. It's just every time she came out of out of a rivalry with someone, she was the one that elevated because of that rivalry.
Yeah, but I think this is definitely going to help Britt's more career take it even more, and we'll definitely see where Soraya goes off. Is she going to be a part timer, or is she going to be a straight up the full timer? So we'll see how that's going to go from there. I'm definitely more excited for this match right now because
Yeah,
like I said in this promo, this was definitely a wake up call for Britt Baker after what Soraya said about her last week. So this definitely got us more excited for this match on Saturday.
this one is definitely one of the matches you gotta watch. It's Soraya's big return back to the ring. A welcome home, back to the ring. So speaking of back to the ring, our next match was a 6-man match, trios action with Type Flight and AR Fox versus Death Triangle. And back to the ring was Dante Martin's brother. What's his name again?
Darius Martin.
Darius Martin. There we go. Darius Martin. Good to see him back. I hope he stays around longer than he was around the last time. But I think definitely having his big brother there helps Darius. But Darius is kind of a star in his own. Also to note, Darius has been putting on more muscle. He's not as small as he was a couple of months ago. I've been noticing he has more muscle gain on him. So he is definitely bulking up. But Darius is definitely the star out of this group now because of his brother's absence. And we got to see AR Fox. This is my second time seeing AR Fox. The match he had with um, Ray Phoenix was great. So it was good to see him back in the ring. He's very impressive.
Yeah, and I could definitely say this was the match of the night on last night.
This is the main event. This is so the thing I was saying earlier that AEW tried something new last night. We didn't have a big main event match, but this to me was like the main event of the night. I know it was matches after this, but this was like the main event pretty much.
Yeah, this definitely felt like a main event. It should have been on the main event, but it is what it is. But in the final moments of the match, Fox was isolated in the entire break, but then got the high tag right away when they returned to Darius, who dropped Pac with a brainbuster for the two, and Darius got the reverse witch lock on his own brother and launched him over the head as Pat nearly took out Phoenix with a kick, but pulled up. Top Flyer laid out Pac and Phoenix with a DDT and spinning slam, respectively, as Penta was taken out by a Darius dive, while Dante hit his no hand dive on Pac and Phoenix. Fox hit an individual flip to take out everyone back inside. Phoenix was set up in the corner, and Phoenix hit the low main pain and 450 splash for close to. Top Flight were dropped by Pac and Penta, while Phoenix hit his comeback kick. Penta hit the Fear Factor by Penta. Double stop by Phoenix, who took out Top Flight with a dive, while Pac hit the Black Arrow on Fox for the win. So after the match, Pat said Death Triangle ain't stupid. He said they have seen the videos and said if there's a certain individuals who want to come to Full Gear and beat Death Triangle, that's ridiculous. Pac said Death Triangle hides from no one. And then we saw the tick-tocking clock shown on the big screen, and that's the graphic show with Death Triangle against a blind side, but it was slowly revealed to be the Elite. So at Full Gear on Saturday, we will be having Death Triangle versus the Elite for the trios titles. So, as I said before, we knew this was going to happen. We didn't know when. So this was a pretty good setup for to confirm that match on Saturday. So you have the inaugural champions who was stripped of the titles because of the whole back altercation, and you guys already know about that. And you have the should I say interim? Not really interim because they are official. Because
Yeah, they're official. They
yeah,
the elite was stripped for those belts, and those belts became available, and they are officially the trios champion.
yeah, because the elite are coming for the titles that they never really lost, so they felt
Right.
like that was ours, and they're trying to say it's ours now. You just gonna have to try to take it for us if you can. So
Right.
yeah, definitely. This was another match I'm definitely going to be looking forward to. This is another.
Yeah, definitely. But real quick, couple of moments. AR Fox did this really cool jump out of the ring where it looked like he was doing a front flip. It was like a backflip. How it'd probably be really hard to describe all the amazing moments of this match, but this is one of those matches you can put on for your he did a backflip, but he springboard off the rope to do like a front flip. It was crazy what he did. But this is definitely a match you can put on for people who don't normally watch professional wrestling, and they can appreciate the acrobaticness that's happening in this match. The athleticism that's going on in this match is just is impossible to deny. My man's AR Fox did a springboard Spanish fly, like it was crazy, and then followed it up like a 450 splash. So this is one of those matches you can put on for people. And then I'm also seeing that Tony Khan has offered AR Fox a AEW contract. Maybe this would be a new trios team. Top Flight just gained a member last night with AR Fox, so we get to see more of him. They do need to build up their. That's also a sign that they're starting to build their trios division. Because right now you only got a couple of folks. So yeah, great match last night. AR Fox, congratulations to him. He is now elite. Freaking Death Triangle looked amazing as always. Pax Black Arrow always looks great no matter what. So good match. Elite is coming back.
Yep, definitely looking forward to the trios title match on Saturday. And speaking of Saturday, before we get into the title eliminator tournament, Ricky Starks was backstage. He talked about Lance Archer attacking him last week prior to their tournament match, but now their match is going to happen on Rampage this Friday. So we got some news earlier. So, and we'll get to that in a second once we go over this next title eliminator tournament, which goes from Ethan Page versus Bandito.
This was also a really good match. Glad to see Ethan Page more on TV. This kind of made me feel like nostalgic of like WCW days. You know what I mean? Like this could have been like a Eddie versus Razor, the Scott Hall match. You know what I mean? Like that's what this kind of gave me when I was watching it last night.
Yeah, the crowd was dead in the first half, but Page and Bandito got them really off their seat in the second half. So those two pull off a solid match.
They did. They got the crowd on their side, but that crowd was kind of whack. I mean, the crowd, I think, kind of reminded me of like almost like a Japanese style crowd. Like they were very quiet and respectful and clapped at like the big moment. So maybe that's just the attitude of the Connecticut people. They probably all really enjoyed themselves. Just on TV, it came off as they were kind of dead. But I think I think the wrestling was solid for them enough. They did pop on the Top Flight match. They gave them all, this is awesome and everything like that. So, but I think the Connecticut crowd is just a little bit more reserved, and it kind of remind me of a Japanese type crowd.
Yeah, and in the second half of the match, Bandito had his hopes spots. Page was mostly in control during the break, and Bandito was able to hit the low drop kick sending Paige to the floor. While Bandito did the moonsault off the ring post back inside, Bandito hit the tornado for a close 2 count. Paige blocked the 21 plex and hit a cutter for a 2 of his own. Paige went for the Avalanche Eagle's Edge, the same way that he beat Eddie Kingston. But Bandito countered into a superhero Corona and a one-hand Gorilla Plex Slam. Bandito hit the top rope frog splash for 2, and a lot of the crowd bit at the false finish. But each man cut off their own in the ropes until Paige hit the top rope body slam and a diving shoulder tackle, and then finally hit the Eagle's Edge, and then for the win. And then Paige advanced to the finals. Now we got an update concerning the tournament. Now we mentioned that that Ricky Starr was attacked by Lance Archer before their match could even started. Now their match was supposed to happen, I think it was on last week's Rampage, but that didn't happen. So they're getting their match this week. So their match, the Ricky Starr versus Lance Archer, is going to happen this Friday on Rampage. Now, whoever wins that match will face Brian Cage at the buy-in or 0 hour, whatever they want to call it, or the pre-show before Full Gear starts on Saturday. Now, and whoever wins that will face Eagle Page in the finals at next week's Dynamite.
Interesting. So next we go into Toni Storm versus Anna Jay.
Yeah, and before we get into
I'm
that,
sorry, but yeah, I skipped the promo piece with Christian and Jungle Boy.
Yeah, we got a video package showing their feud between Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, and Luchasaurus. And in case y'all didn't know, they will face in the steel cage on Saturday. And then after that video package, Renee Paquette was backstage at Saraya and said she has never thought that Diva should be in this moment. Saraya is sick of the back and forth with Big Breaker. She wants to be where the best is, and the best is AEW. She will see Bray at Full Gear. Saraya was like, hey, I'm done with the back and forth. The talking is over. Saturday, let's get it on.
Yep. And it goes Saturday. Again, that's just going to be a big match for people to watch. I hope she does really well.
Yeah. And then we also got a quick video showing Eddie Kingston and Ortiz versus Kensuke Yashada and Jun Amasa is shown. Kingston said in 1988, Amasa and Jun in the Tokyo Dome was the moment that Eddie Kingston wanted to fight Azure, and he waited for this moment for his whole life. So come Rampage, they better bring it. So we'll be getting that tag team match on Rampage, or what they calling the Full Gear Rampage Friday.
Okay.
So
Rampage Friday.
Yeah. And then going to the AEW Interim Women's World Championship eliminator match with Toni Storm versus Anna Jay ASS. So if Anna Jay wins the match, she will get a title shot of whoever is the Interim Women's World Champion after Full Gear.
Pretty good showing by Anna Jay. Some of the crowd, the guys in the front really like seeing these women wrestle. They all had their phones out the whole time the ladies was out there. But yeah, pretty good straight up and down match.
Yeah. And it ended with Storm says sink in the Texas leaf cloverleaf, and then Jay immediately taps. So most of this took place during the commercial. It was rest hands, but Jay, while that was happening, Storm got to get a nice series of offense leading her to the victory. But aside from that, not really much that happened here. This was just a warm-up match for Toni Storm for Saturday. But after the match, Jamie Hayter hit the ring as champion challenger, had an intense face-off before their Full Gear match on Saturday. So that's something to look forward to. But on Rampage Friday, we got the tag team match with Eddie Kingston and Ortiz versus Jun Kasama and Kenzo Zook. And then we also got Ricky Starks versus Lance Archer in the title eliminator tournament match. Hook defends the FTW title against Lee Moriarty, and Athena takes on Madison Rayne.
Pretty good Rampage coming up. I like how they got my man's back from New Japan. He's always fun to watch for sure, and I think it's going to be an interesting Rampage leading up to Full Gear.
Yeah, and then to close the show, we got John Moxley and MJF the face off. So Moxley came to the ring with Lord Regal, saying he's the best wrestler on earth, backing it up, defying the AEW World Title. He is sick in the head. He is addicted to the adrenaline and pain. Moxley has researched MJF and find out he's a good singer. In case y'all didn't know, he did a music video with Chris Jericho back then when they was in the Inner Circle together. Y'all should check that out. And who only has one win in the last 6 months, and that was against Moxley's young boy in Utah. He did a Brian Pillman stunt and won the worst finish to a ladder match he's ever seen, and that is true. There, in case y'all didn't know, from All Out with the casino ladder match, and Moxley said the fans will see something special at Full Gear. What he does best. He's challenging MJF to show him balls at the pay-per-view. Stokely Hathaway walked up to the ramp as the firm all hit the ring and attacked Moxley and Regal. MJF's music hit and hit the ring while laying out the guns, Lee Moriarty on his way. MJF dropped Moxley with a low blow, dropped WC Morrissey with a low blow, dispatched up Eagle Page as well. MJF told Stokely and the crew to leave before he keeps kicking their ass. He saved John Moxley because he didn't want Moxley to have any excuses come Full Gear. MJF said he's not the same kid when they fought the first time at All Out in 2020 back there when it was at Daily Space during the pandemic. And he told Regal he won't need the Diamond ring. MJF needs the AEW title more than he needs water, food, or oxygen. The title means you are the best wrestler in the world, and it is time. MJF said, the greatest trick the devil has pulled is convincing the world he doesn't exist. But before MJF could finish his catchphrase, Moxley cuts him off. Moxley said that this Saturday, the training wheel comes off. As they face off, Regal was in the middle of them. But Moxley left the ring, hitting MJF in the shoulder. So this was a pretty good go home segment for the main event. I'm still kind of firm, no pun intended, believing MJF is in cahoots with Stokely, but we'll see what's gonna happen. But all through the final shot of the show, really had Regal had it staring down the hole at MJF, which lead me to believe that maybe Regal could be a part of it as well. We don't know. It all could be surprise. It could be a surprise. Like I said, we might see a swerve in the main event. That's all I'm going to say. I just don't believe that MJF, the man that called himself the devil, is going to win clean on Saturday. I don't believe it, but we'll see what happens. I don't believe it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. This is definitely interesting. Now, this is what I was saying. This is something new AEW tried this week. Is to end the show with this big promo, not a match or something that happens, but a whole promo. This did feel very WWE to me. This feels like a very WWE kind of old school kind of ending. So this is something that I don't remember them doing too often, is these kind of promos to wrap up before going into a pay-per-view. That being said, Moxley did not do the best job last night on the mic. He stumbled a lot. I really do think that one line about that was the worst finish to a ladder match I ever seen I think he said that just because he had stumbled a couple of times before and needed to get the crowd back. So why he decided to shit on that match and the booking of that match at that moment, I don't know. But I think it really was because he stumbled a couple of times and needed to say something. Um, so with that being said, the beatdown from the firm felt kind of unnecessary if Moxley was just going to get back up and start talking. That I feel like this segment could have just been handled a little bit better, and I don't think it was handled the best kind of way to kind of drive this big match to full gear. So it was kind of a weak, go home segment in my opinion. And I was really actually looking forward for some more wrestling since the last match was the women's match. So I was looking for one more kind of big match. So I left last night Dynamite a little disappointed because I was really looking for one more heavy hitting match before the night was over, and I didn't get that. But again, they tried something new. I don't remember them doing something like this before. It felt very new, but I don't think it was executed to the best of his ability.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw the video afterwards when AEW went off the air. So Tony Khan was in the ring with MJF. So I think they squashed the beef that they had before, and then he did another that babyface promo in the ring. So I don't know. Maybe this could be a new thing for MJF. I don't know, but like I said, we'll see what happens on Saturday.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I think they're starting to put MJF in that babyface role. They're trying to put him as the face of AEW. I think he's going to get the belt this Saturday. I think it's going to be MJF's time. Shit, if I just paid that much money for some guy to be in my company, hell yeah, I put the belt on him. I'm going to sell as many damn I'm better than you shirts and how many fake Burberry scarves I can. You feel me? Like, that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna make that money back. So hey, I paid you this much money. You go make me that money back, my guy. That's the only way it goes. That's business. So I think it'd be smart to make him champ because people are going to be talking about it and want to tune in. He's young. He can kind of come in with a different audience. He's fresh. Moxley is one of those guys. It's kind of better to watch him fight for the belt sometimes than it is for him to have the belt. So I think we might have one of those type of situations where it's better for him to be looking for the belt, you know?
Yep, absolutely. And that was Dynamite last night. Let's get into this predictions for the AEW Full Gear card. We got 10 matches on the card. So starting off with the triple threat match for the AEW TNT Championship, Wardlow versus Samoa Joe versus Powerhouse Hobbs. So I think Wardlow is gonna retain, and then at ROH Final Battle, with we're gonna get Wardlow versus Samoa Joe. That's my predict. These are my predictions. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but I think it could happen. But like I said, Wardlow retains the TNT title on Saturday, and then at ROH Final Battle, we're gonna get Wardlow versus Samoa Joe in a title winner take all for the TNT and the ROH television title at Full Gear. That's why I think it's gonna happen. But Wardlow retains this Saturday. What you think?
Yeah, definitely. I don't see Wardlow losing the belt. I see him getting it and keeping it, and then maybe a new rivalry with for Joe, and then maybe they keep up with the Powerhouse Hobbs rivalry between Samoa. I mean, sorry, Wardlow and Powerhouse Hobbs. So they can keep up with that rivalry, and then let Joe go on with another rivalry for his ROH belt.
Yeah. And then going into the trios championship with Death Triangle versus the Elite. I think the Elite is gonna win because I think some point in the match, Pac is try to use the hammer, and then the Lucha Bros is going to be like, no, 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 do not use that hammer. This is not the way we win matches. So I think that's what's going to set them apart and losing those trios titles, and then the Elite winning them back. So what do you think?
Yeah, I think that happens. I think I mean, or you can keep building up to you can keep building up you can keep building up to the whole rivalry. You know, maybe they keep Death Triangle in it, and nah, I think Elite might get their belts back. I mean, why not? They're big stars. The Elite is big stars. They're good. They're good to have on TV. I think definitely the Elite gets the belt back.
All right. And then we got the steel cage match with Jungle Boy Jack Perry versus Luchasaurus. Now, I think the Jungle Boy is gonna win. And then after the match, Luchasaurus might continue beating down on Jungle Boy, showing that the rivalry is not gonna end. And I think it's gonna end with Jungle Boy finally gets his hands on Christian once Christian's arm gets healed. And I think that's when they're gonna end the rivalry there. But Jungle Boy over Luchasaurus on Saturday in the steel cage. What you think?
I think Jungle Boy gets his revenge. I think Jungle Boy is on should be the one winning. I don't see the reason why we wouldn't have him win. But anything can happen. Christian can come in and mess up with stuff. Either though it's a cage, there's ways to get into cages. So it's a lot of things that could definitely still happen. But I say Jungle Boy for the win.
All right. And then we got Sting and Darby Allin versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. And like I said before, this is a makeup, a remake for the massacre that happened at Ric Flair's last match. And we talked about it before. They're definitely using legends as the way they should be. And speaking of, like, for example, Darby Allin, Steen doesn't have to wrestle every time. So he just in the back, just being the mentor to Darby Allin as he gets his shine every time when he goes out there. But the only time that if he gets outnumbered by somebody, that's where Steen comes in to help out and be that that tag team that we know and love from Steen and Darby Allin. And of course, we're Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. They're a perfect pairing as well. So I say Sting and Darby Allin because the both of them together, they cannot lose because they're undefeated as a tag team. So I do not see Sting and Darby Allin losing this match. So I think they take the W here. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you want to get your new heel some heat. You know, Jeff Jarrett first time in the AEW ring. You go put some heat on him, and you know, have him beat favorite and go from there. I mean, that makes sense to me. I maybe want to see what happens next time they fight.
All right. And then we got Soraya in her return match versus Britt Baker. Honestly, this could go either way, but I say Soraya is picking the W here because I don't think they're gonna make her lose in her return match, and it's not gonna hurt Britt Baker at all because like she said in her promo, she's already a star. Like it's not gonna hurt her at all. So Soraya needs to win the match more than Britt Baker. So I say Soraya taking the W on Saturday. What do you think?
I don't know. First time out, who can survive that loss more? You know, Britt or Soraya? Like Britt can take a L. I don't think Soraya can take her first one out. You know, it's kind of like with Anthony Ogogo and Cody Rhodes. You know, Anthony Ogogo first time out. You know, Cody Rhodes takes the win. Um, and you know, look what happened. You know, so I think first time out debut is important for that person to come in and win.
All right. And then we got the TBS championship with Jay Cargill versus Nyla Rose. Will Jay go 42-0, or will Nyla Rose finally dethrones Jay? And I say Jay goes 42-0. What do you think?
I agree. I think Jay goes 42-0, gets her belt back. Everything is right in the world.
All right. And we got the fatal four-way match for the ROH World Championship. Chris Jericho, Bryan Danielson, Claudio Castagnoli, and Sammy Guevara. So I say Chris Jericho should retain because if they ever take the belt away from Chris Jericho, I think it should happen at Final Battle. Depends on who he faces at Final Battle. So even though I wish Daniel Garcia was in the match instead of Sammy Guevara, but it is what it is. But I say Chris Jericho retains Saturday. What do you think?
Who's all in this match again?
Chris Jericho, Bryan Danielson, Claudio, and Sammy Guevara.
And this is a fatal four-way for the ROH belt?
Yeah.
Why the hell was Sammy Guevara in that match? That's weird. Why
Yeah,
they put so many teams in there? Yeah, that's weird. Well, let's see if Sammy Guevara try to get the belt. Let's see if they attack each other. Maybe they put things on the side for now and try to get. It's all about the belt. So we'll see what happens. But I got a feeling a lot of teamwork. A lot of teamwork is going to happen. It's an odd fatal four-way.
Yeah, but like I said, I think Chris Jericho retains, and if they ever take the belt away from him, it should happen on an ROH pay-per-view, like Final Battle. But that depends on who they gonna get. But somebody told me that they want to see Chris Jericho versus Adam Cole.
Oh, that'd be a good one. They got very similar. Man, where is Adam Cole, man?
I don't know because need I remind you, Adam Cole, it is a former RH World Champion. Is a former.
That is true.
But
that'd be a great. There's a lot of great former champions they can call on, to kind of get that going. Probably not Jonathan Gresham, but it's a lot of other ones.
Yeah, we'll see. And for the interim women's world title, Toni Storm versus Jamie Hayter. So this could go either way too. And a lot of people say this could be Jamie Hayter's time. But I still say that Toni Storm is going to retain because once Thunder Rosa comes back, then that's where Toni Storm going to get her crowning moment and become the official AEW Women's World Champion. So Toni Storm retains Saturday. What do you think?
Yeah, I see that, but good for Jamie Hayter to be able to be in this position.
Yep. And then the Acclaim versus Swerve in Our Glory 3 for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. And I have my two predictions here for this one. One says the Acclaim retains, and then Swerve turns on Keith Lee there, or Swerve in Our Glory win the belts back, even though that's kind of ridiculous on putting the belts back on Swerve in Our Glory after the Acclaim have won the title at Grand Slam. But if that does happen, then it will make it more interesting to see now Swerve in Our Glory are champions again, but can they coexist? What's been going on with Swerve Strickland lately in the past few weeks? So this could go either way for me. But what a part of me says the Acclaim might retain, and the other one says that Swerve in Our Glory might win the belts back. But what do you think?
I think what you said was right on the money. Acclaim wins, and then we break up Swerve in Our Glory, or Keith Lee becomes heel. or like maybe they lose and Swerve start beating them up. Keith Lee stops them, and then he joins in, and they become a official heel tag team group.
I can never see Keith Lee being the heel. I can never
Yeah,
see that.
that's why it could be something. What's the benefit of keeping him babyface right now? So it's a possibility.
But main event: John Moxley, MJF, AEW World Title. This is MJF's Casino Ladder Match Poker Chip Cash In match. So a lot of questions here. Will MJF use the Dynamite Diamond Ring? Will he win this match clean? Will we see any shenanigans from the firm? Where does Lord William Regal lies? We don't know. There's a lot of questions to be asked.
A lot of questions. A lot of questions.
But I say MJF becomes the new champion, but they might pull a swerve and let him Moxley win. We don't know. But I'm saying MJF wins the title on Saturday. What do you think?
I see that as well. MJF becoming champ. I think it'll be big for the company. I think MJF becoming champ will excite the AEW crowd. Tony Khan can make a lot more money. And they can continue to sell fake Burberry scarves and make money on merch. And that's what it's really all about. So I think it'd be a smart move. Time for a new champ to go out into the new year. And let's go into the era of MJF. And then think about it. What do we have? MJF babyface turn, and Adam Cole goes against MJF as a heel. Those two talkers, those two athletic guys can do a lot of great work together. So it's a lot of opportunities there with MJF as champion.
Yep, but we'll see. And there's a lot of ways you can watch Full Gear on Saturday. You go to your local theaters wherever they're showing Full Gear, or order on pay-per-view, or either on Fight or Bleach Report.
Yep, there's a lot of ways. I was thinking about doing the theater, but I think I might just chill at home, make some nachos, and watch it that way.
Yep. And then but that's our predictions for Full Gear this Saturday, and of course our review for Dynamite last night. And before we wrap up, there probably won't be a Dynamite review next week because it is that Thanksgiving week. So we'll probably be with our families. I know I am because
Yep.
I will be in Orlando because we're gonna be spending a lot of time either at Disney or Universal. And also, in case y'all didn't know, Orlando used to be our former hometown when we was going to Full Sail. But yeah.
So yeah, next week no review show, but we will be back after that. But of course, it's the holiday season, so it's going to be a lot of different changes as we go through our holiday season here. But guys, next year we got a lot of big plans coming up, a lot of cool movies coming up. We got a lot of exciting things going to be happening in 2023. We got the AEW game that's going to be coming out. I'm pretty sure we're going to do a review. Maybe me and Trico can even do some Twitch type stuff and play a couple of matches for you guys. So we can have some cool virtual wrestling as well. I'm looking forward to that AEW game. I didn't really like the last 2K too much. It was all right, but it just wasn't my style. But I'm excited for the AEW game. So a lot of exciting stuff is happening in 2023 for sure.
Hopefully we get a more reveal on Fight Forever on this Saturday at Full Gear. But hopefully we get a more review because
I seen that we got some blood type stuff happening, some gore type stuff happening. So yeah, it's gonna be a interesting see they teasing something. So I would definitely be watching.
Yeah. And anything else you want to plug in before we wrap up?
No, that's it, man. Go to Cupcake Rapture Studios. com. If you're looking for a production team in the Atlanta, Georgia area, go to our YouTube, like, subscribe. And guys, we look forward to getting ready to do a whole nother year of these shows. For the people who listen, thank you so much for listening. And yeah, that's a wrap for this show.
All right. He's Leland, and I'm Trico, and we're signing off.
Peace.